start seeing what's going to happen with the Trump Elon thing. Tesla is down at the moment about 6%. So it's going to be pretty fascinating to see what exactly happens with Tesla. But it's currently getting whooped. So yes, we got the live going now. We got everything going. You should be seeing a poll as well. So go ahead and vote on that. Let's see what exactly happens here. Let me go over a few things. Let's see how this thing is breaking out for the Trump Elon thing. Currently there's a big feud going on there. So okay, let's see. Trump actually has saying that we had great success in Iran, nuclear facilities destroyed, but Trump is also coming out and saying that who wants an electric car? He says he doesn't want one because the only thing it does is it explodes. So that is fascinating. I need to put this up in the chat because this is just hilarious. It's just incredible. Some of this stuff is just so funny, like it's just beyond me to now actually keep thinking about this stuff and even talking about it. Some of it is just ridiculous. Elon's looking to start his own political party. It's going to be called America Party, is what they're saying. So, more than likely, I mean, the odds in Calci at the moment are for about 40% that Musk will launch his political party. So, let's see how that plays out. It's going to be fascinating though. I want to actually see whether this political party goes through, what exactly happens, how many people actually come through. It's going to be just, it's just different to actually see someone actually now go against what's happening with Trump and basically put that out there, right? He basically comes out and says, who wants an electric car? He's like, I don't want one because it bloody explodes. So, anyways, Trump also says that he would like to do the tax and spending bill on July 4th or somewhere around there. So, let's see. Right, Tesla's down 6% in pre-market at the moment. So, anyways, welcome everyone to Signal and Sentiment. This is what I do. It's my life before the market opens. We got about 30 minutes. We got what? 50 minutes? Yeah, 50 minutes before the market opens. So we're going to see what's going on there. And we're going to go through a few stocks. We're going to see what's happening with the market. We're down about 71 points on the index. So wasn't Elon already a naturalized citizen? I mean, now that I think about it, pretty much should be, but you know what? They can do what they want, right? That's the cool part. Just the richest man in the world goes after power. New story, isn't it? Ah, buddy, it's what Sherik comes out and says exactly right, right? Sherik comes out and says that mom and dad are fighting. So now we actually know who the daddy is here, but mom and dad are fighting. Good evening, guys. Welcome to the channel. For everyone that's new here, this is what we do. We roast billionaires because we're not one. So this is that. Go ahead and subscribe, go ahead and like, go ahead and vote. Do you actually think this thing with Elon is going to break out or is it going to break down? I actually think it's going to get worse before it gets better. That's just my belief. I actually think that it's just going to be a little bit worse. Anyways, we got Iqbal Muhammad here as well. Iqbal, what's up? Shallin's here saying hi. Shallin, how's it going? Nice to see everyone in. Anyway, so it does look like there's currently, so we do get some of this news, right? This is breaking news where Trump says Elon Musk could lose a lot more than the EV mandate. I don't know what he's talking about. If he's talking about this basically him being a citizen in America and tells him to F off to South Africa, that'll just be hilarious. I'm telling you, it's just going to be completely hilarious. I'm going to put this up in the chat. So today's a day where I'm going to be more active in the chat because this is just incredible fun what's going on right now. This is not what I would have expected in my life after they mended ways, right? After the fact that they went after the Epstein thing, they went after everything, and now that's like this is what's happening, like this exactly. The stock's moving lower this morning, about 6.2% on the Tesla stock, right? President Trump comes out and says Elon Musk is upset that he lost the EV mandate, but he could lose a lot more than that. Trump was asked about deporting Elon Musk, and Trump comes out and says, have to take a look. He says, maybe. Who knows? Maybe Elon has some news on Trump as well. Who knows? Maybe that comes out as well. I don't know. That could be bad. That could be bad for markets. I mean, I'm okay with some shit coming about Elon, but not something about Trump, because that's going to just make markets go out way lower. Oh my god. But Trump asked about deporting Musk and says, have to take a look. That is just hilarious. Sean says, I mean, he would set unprecedented rules if he deports Elon. I mean, dude, he's been setting unprecedented rules for quite a while now. There's nothing precedented that's happened. There is no part of his. I don't know the one thing that's happened that has happened before. Right? And everything's temporary. Remember, we're not making trade deals here, we're making deals to make deals. We're not meeting, we're meeting in order to decide the next meeting. That is what's happening here, guys. This is just a joke after a certain point of time, what's exactly happening. Anyways, we got the Nasdaq down about 71 points. We got the volatility index up about 3.64. I don't know what's going to happen here. This is just some stupid stuff that's currently going on. Let's see. Let's find some more shit that's going on here. Let's actually see. I'm so sure there is some crap that he comes up with. The fact that he even has to say that he's going to take a look at whether he should deport Musk, that will just be hilarious. I mean, imagine all of that Thomas Edison stuff that they're talking about and all that. If he's not, he's going to go back to South Africa where they're chopping people up. It's just funny. Anyways, Musk is upset. Yeah, okay. Musk says that turning off the massive money magnet for illegals is important, but this bill fails to do that. And Trump doesn't give a shit, right? Trump just comes out and says he doesn't like cuts in the tax bill. He thinks we're going well when asked about the bill. So everybody's in their own world, right? Let me actually see what's happening with the dollar, because that's the one that's going to be a little funny. Still lower, 96,500, 0.2% lower. We actually went down to 96,389. Let me actually go and see when was the last time we were at these levels. Yeah, 2022, when we dropped down in 2022. Wow, that was on the recovery. We went all the way down to 89 at that point of time. And the dollar really took a shit back then. But yeah, we're at 22,588, 62 points down. Again, I actually do think we're going to 24,000 before we even stop on this rally. Looks likely. The euro has risen to its strongest level against the US dollar since 2020. Who gives a shit? We all still hold US dollars. Who cares? Let's see. I'm trying to see if we can find some more shit about these two guys. Yeah, we got all of that news. I'm going to go back to the equity news and everything else in a bit. I just want to see if there's anything more crazy. Trump says the one big beautiful bill slashes deficits, national debt while unleashing economic growth. One of them is right about it. I don't know if it's Trump or it's Elon, but one of them is right about it and is going to have the last laugh in this, right? But what Deekshant said about the richest man in the world goes after power, new story. Man, this is just hilarious. Anyways, the more important news, Treasury Secretary Besant came out and he was talking about a few things. Let's go over a few things that he was talking about, because at this moment it does look like we have more fun things to do. Wahab is in the house as well. He says hi. What's up, Wahab? How's it going? Long time haven't heard from you. Are you still holding on to your hood, buddy? It's been flying, man. The last time I spoke to it was 72. Now it's 93. I'm pretty sure you're making bank on that. Good stuff. Okay, anyways, I mean, you made that money even without worrying about it joining the S&P 500, right? Without joining, it's at 93. Imagine when it joins. You're gonna make so much more money, man. Let me actually see if I can get some news on this stuff. Anyways, Besant says we'll get Senate approval of bill this afternoon. He tells Fox News on Fed, I will go where I'm needed, but we have a lot to do at Treasury. No one's going to leave being the Treasury Secretary to become the Fed Chair. Just think about it. How many of us know the first Treasury Secretary? A lot of us do know that. That's basically Alexander, right? Everybody knows about it. Alexander Hamilton was the first guy to be the whole first Treasury Secretary in America, one of the founding fathers of the United States, right? So he was the first dude out there. No one knows who the first Fed chair was because no one gives a damn about it. Yeah, we care about it, but we're not going to care about. We didn't give a shit about Ben Bernanke. We didn't give a shit about Janet Yellen. So we're not going to care about all of these things. Life moves on, right? None of us actually care about all of that crap. Anyways, we got Mohammed Ziandra saying, hi, buddy, how's it going? Go ahead, tell me what all stocks you guys have. I mean, a lot of you guys actually do think about this fact that the Elon thing is going to die down. Maybe I'm the only one that actually thinks that there's going to be some form of a flare up. I actually think it's going to get a little bit. I mean, he's not going to get deported. Trump's not going to do that shit. But I actually do think there is going to be of some issue, maybe a little bit more worse. At some price, I will buy Tesla. I actually missed out on the previous one when the stock fell that much. But now that I look at it, I mean, it does look like it looks pretty cool. I like it. Let me just go in and say hello. So everybody has a hello as well. 62 points down on the Nasdaq. What do we have in some more news? Anyways, Besant says he admires Musk on rockets, but he says I'll take care of finances. Apparently there was some news of Besant actually, I think he boxed Elon, and that was the whole black eye that Elon had, and that's how it got pretty worse for him. I don't know how that's turning out, but yeah, that's that. But yeah, can I get a glass of water with ice, please? With ice? Yes, please. Thank you. So yeah, that's that, right? Besant also says he wants to get Medicaid back to pre-COVID levels. So that's going to be fun. Let's see. He says the tax bill more than pays for itself. He says we're very close with India. I mean, they've been close with India for quite a while. It's just going to wait for the parliament and the prime minister, I think, to sign it off before anything can actually happen. But until then, the story is going to continue. Besant says he doesn't agree with Musk on bill adding to deficit, but that's purely because they've been fighting for so long. Thank you so much. He also says that it's a deal for working people. He says we're moving forward to a vote today on the big beautiful bill. Yeah, but everybody is, if you're expecting the fact that the bill is going to cause people, the stock market to go higher, no, that's already priced in. If it doesn't go through, we will have a very large drop, but I'm more than likely that it's going to go through. We're just going to keep dilly-dallying it till the last hour and then eventually get it through. Anyways, let's go ahead. I heard some news today about Netflix. I think they're signing up, they're partnering with the International Space Station. So Netflix is apparently going to be getting all of your astronaut landings, rocket launches, and the International Space Station 24/7 live footage of how Earth looks and everything else around it on Netflix. So I know a lot of people that would actually be looking at that stuff. Well, let's see. Looks fascinating. I'm just waiting to see if we have some more shit that goes out, man. I would kill to see this stuff just blow up out of proportion. Guess what? Wedbush went out and reiterated an outperform rating on Tesla today, saying it's supposed to be at $500. Oh my god. They're saying that, as we discussed, the best. This has to be sent. I have to send this to you guys. This is just hilarious. It says the best BFF situation has now turned into a soap opera. That is so true. It is just so stupid now. Look at that. It's just a complete joke at this point of time. They believe the situation will settle, and at the end of the day, Musk needs Trump and Trump needs Musk, given the AI arms race going on between the US and China. That's kind of true, though. I mean, I agree with that. But who knows? Stocks could go a lot lower. All right, who knows? Maybe. Let's see. JP Morgan also says Tesla demand weakness likely continued in second quarter. We are supposed to be seeing the Tesla quarter numbers come out today. I think it comes after the market opens, or sorry, after the market closes. So we should be seeing what's happening there. With 5.85% down for now, but we should be getting the quarterly car sales numbers. It's not looking good. They're expecting 355,000. I actually think it's going to take a shit because Europe has been pretty bad for it. Mm, well, let's see. Who knows? Uh, what else? What else? June sales fell for the sixth straight month in Sweden and Denmark. Denmark sales fell 61.6%. Model Y was down 31%. Sweden registrations down 64%. However, Norway was up about 53.8%. But Norway alone is not going to be able to hold on to Teslas, right? I mean, I understand eventually they're going to get out of it. What else are they going to do? Let's see. So Citi went out and raised trade desk today from a price target of 82 to 90. That's a stock that I follow. Maintains the buy rating and adds a 90-day upside catalyst watch. I don't know what the hell that 90-day upside catalyst watch is. So let's go see what's happening with trade desk. Okay, it's up about 2.38%. So let's see what actually happens to it. I'm not sure if it's gonna. If it does break out of the $80 level, I actually think we could see 120 coming through. But until then, it'll take some amount of time before we can actually go down till there. 60 points down on the Nasdaq, so nothing too fascinating. Let's see what else. So this is news. There's the Chinese search giant Baidu has come out with a new LLM, right? And apparently they're saying it's called Ernie, ERNIE or ERNEI, whatever it is. They're saying that it's going to have like a deep seek moment again, and people are a bit scared. So let's go see what Nvidia is doing. I don't think this time Nvidia is going to even budge with any of that. Yeah, 0.96% down. So it's not really that much. But what I do think is it could very well be a possibility that if it actually does start showing that the Chinese have overtaken the Americans in AI capabilities, at least in terms of LLMs, it might make Trump want to go a bit more crazy against the Chinese when it comes to the AI stuff. So who knows? Just saying, like, that's one thing that I'm keeping a watch on, because it could very well be one of those situations that actually turns into something larger than required. But if that does happen, you could see stocks go. I mean, I would still think stocks wouldn't give too much of a shit about this, other than maybe the AI ones. But because see, you get hit by DeepSeek the first time you take a hit. The second time someone comes and tells you the same shit, you're like, yeah, okay, cool, let's move on. Right? Everyone at the end of the day still needs Nvidia, and life moves on. So, anyways. So they had the Senate voted for it 99-1 to strike state local AI moratorium from the big beautiful bill, one nay vote. So it's one vote that's keeping us from passing the bill in the Senate to go back to the House and then to the President's desk on 4th of July. Now the fact is, the administration said so many times that they're going to sign the bill on the 4th of July. They're going to sign the bill on the 4th of July. It's all going to come through on the 4th of July. What happens if it doesn't? Right? I actually do think it's going to go through, but yeah, whatever. Okay, let's see. Japan reports whatever, hottest month on record. Who cares? It's okay. ECB also says 10% tariffs are part of ECB baseline. So that's basically ECB caving in, saying, you know what, 10% is okay with us, but nothing more. Did you know that the Swiss franc had, I was actually checking this, the year-to-date return on the Swiss franc is equal to the same return of Bitcoin year-to-date. Now, that's against the Swiss franc against the dollar. That's because the Swiss franc is a safe haven, and people are starting to run to it to buy it, because they know that in times of turmoil, the Swiss franc and the yen are two currencies that act as risk-off sentiment. So that's actually happening currently with the Swiss franc. So these kind of things you only get to know when you join in the lives, right? So you got to come in and say hi and see what's happening here. So make sure you guys do that. Make sure you guys subscribe, and then you get that stupid bell. Hit that bell, because only once you hit that bell will you know that I'm live. Or I don't know if you get a notification if I'm live or not, but whatever. If you do, then great. Then don't hit the bell. Okay, we have some data coming out. We have 9:30. I think 4. Powell. Yeah, Powell comes to speak. They're in Portugal. All of these leaders of central banks. The leader of the ECB, Christine Lagarde. The leader of the Fed, Jerome Powell. The leader of UK central bank, I think Andrew Bailey, and the fourth is I think we are going to be having the South Korean as well as the Japanese bank governors as well in Spain. So let's see how that goes through. 9:45 we get S&P manufacturing PMI, and at 10 o'clock we're going to be getting job openings as well as ISM manufacturing PMI. So a lot of data coming out today. Thursday is going to be the big one. Thursday we got non-farm payroll, initial employment claims, jobless claims. We're also during the week getting challenger cuts. So challenger cuts is good to get to know how many people in the government have lost their jobs. So just to see the effect of Doge that's currently happening. Well, let's see. Okay, this is Trump's post about Elon Musk amid electric vehicle subsidies. Elon Musk knew long before he so strongly endorsed me for president that I was strongly against the EV mandate. It is ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign. Electric cars are fine, but not everyone should be forced to own one. Elon may get more subsidy than any human being in history by far, and without subsidies, Elon would probably have to close up shop and head back to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. And this is his last line. Okay, this is just hilarious. He says, perhaps we should have Doge take a good hard look at this. Big money to be saved. Imagine using Doge to go against Tesla and go against what Trump created. It is just hilarious. I'm telling you. This is just fun for me now. It's just so stupid what's currently going on. I would not in my right mind even think of this stupid thing ever going so crazy, but yeah, it is what it is. Tonight's post by US President Trump once again attacking Elon Musk and indirectly threatening to pull government contracts from SpaceX and other companies owned by Musk, followed by an announcement earlier today in which he promised to support Republican Thomas Massie as well as any other Republican who votes against President Trump's big beautiful bill. It is so stupid. Every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending, this is Elon, right? Every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and then immediately voted for the biggest debt increase in the history should hang their head in shame. And they'll lose their primary next year if it is the last thing I do on this earth. Yeah, funny. What are we down on Tesla? Today's a Tesla day, so we're going to spend time trying to figure this shit out. It's just fun. 5.58% down on Tesla. Let me just go over and see. We're down only 44 points on the Nasdaq, so I actually feel we're going to recover, possibly go back higher as well, break yesterday's high. In stocks, we got 1.2% down for a firm, but I think that's going to break out as well. Reddit's up about 1%. Trade Desk got upgraded by Citi, so they're up about 2.31. Apple's up about 1% again. Apple is apparently teaming up either with the thinking of, at least that's what Bloomberg's reporting. Either they team up with OpenAI or they're going to be teaming up with Anthropic in order to be getting some of this AI stuff that they've been screwing around with to get that working for them. As of now, they pretty much screwed up Siri. So they're trying to see that. AMD is down about 2%. What else do we have? ASML down about 1.81. How's ASML been doing though? Pretty good recovery. Let's see. What other stock is falling or going up? MicroStrategy, none of us care about, so that's okay. Yeah, Tesla is the big one, and Warner Brothers Discovery. What the hell is wrong with one? Investor sells 100 million shares in block sale. Who? Okay, whatever. But Tesla is down about 5.69%, so it's not like it's improving, it's just getting worse. Okay, let's go and let's see some more stuff. What's there here? Do we have any more news on Tesla? Musk to oversee Tesla sales in US, Europe after his basically second in command was fired or he left the company, whatever drama they had between them. I have no clue what happened there, but whatever it wasn't good for Trump reportedly says will consider deporting Musk. Yeah, that'll be fun though. Denmark registrations falling, Sweden registrations falling. It's not a good sign. I mean, Norway we all knew would be better off, but it's not really getting that great. So, would I be a buyer of Tesla if anyone's interested in knowing? No. Possibly if we go down to the 230s, 240s, I might look at it. But depending on if he's deported or no, right? I mean, I don't know what happens. Never know. In this administration, you never know what's going to happen. So you keep your mind and eyes open. Whatever happens, happens. All right. This is exactly what he came up. Let me actually put this as a message for you guys. So this is just hilarious when I see it. It's just absolutely incredible. He says perhaps we should have Doge take a good hard look at this. Big money time to be saved. It's just fun. Okay. He says that electric cars are fine, but everyone should not be forced to own one. He says Elon may be getting more subsidy than any human being in history. He says no more rocket launches for you. It's funny. Anyways, OpenAI was supposed to be using Google's chips. That shit came screwing out because OpenAI says it has no active plans to use Google scale, TPUs at scale. Confirmed that it's in early testing with Google's chips, but remains reliant on NVIDIA GPUs and AMD AI chips. So I guess that's that. Let's see. What else, guys? What else? Oh my god, this is just so much fun with the Tesla stuff. Anyways, I think tomorrow or day after, we should be putting out the video on what we believe the second half of 2025 is going to bring in for equities, for most markets, and what is it that we feel. Anyways, it's not like I'm saving it for, there's no diamond in the dust here, but we're still trying to say that it's going to head higher. We actually do believe that markets should head towards 6,500 on the S&P 500, another 10%, maybe 6 to 10% on the index. It's not too much on the S&P. 10 to 15%, maybe 10 to 12% on the Nasdaq. It's quite likely. At least that's what I believe. It can happen. Who knows what actually happens? But if I had to bet, right, which I always do, I actually do think we're going higher. We might even go up like 5%, 4% more from here before we actually see a pullback, coming back to where we are today. So that's quite possible as well. But quite likely that we are actually in a mode where we're just heading higher. Just heading higher. Anyways, everyone that's new here, go ahead and vote. I want to know what happens next after the Trump versus Elon thing. What do you guys think? Is it going to flare up? Is it going to get worse? Is it going to die out? I like the guy, whoever the guy or the girl that was, that decided to select strategic as both win attention. That is something that I might also think about, but I actually think it might get worse just because they want more attention. So if they want more attention, they're going to have to get it a little bit more worse. Otherwise, no one's going to care. All right, anyways, we got 15 minutes to open. What are we? Nasdaq down 50 points, so absolutely nothing. What is this company? Evolution AB just signed up with Hasbro. Stock's been flying for a bit. Up about 1.26%. It was down to 638. It used to trade at 1700 Swedish krona. Must been happening for this company here. They had some form of issues. I remember they had some form of regulatory issues, but other than that, they didn't have too much going on. I'll put it out there for you guys so you guys can check whenever you guys are free. Let me know what you think. I haven't yet invested. It's just something I'm looking at. It's just part of a lot of things that I look at. It's not compulsory that I invest in everything that I look at. I'll look at 1,000 things or like 100 things, and not 1,000, maybe 100 things, and then buy 2 stocks out of those, or like 1, sometimes even none. Musk said to oversee Tesla sales in Europe, US as offshore exits. Okay, bye-bye. What? Microsoft and England's Premier League just announced a 5-year partnership. Microsoft will become the official cloud and AI partner for the Premier League's digital platforms, modernizing the league's digital infrastructure, broadcast match analysis, and organizational whatever. No, that's fine. Till the time it works and we can watch our games, we're happy. Okay, what else is going on? This is funny. Yeah, so Warner Brothers Discovery is trading lower. It was down about 4.5 to 5%. The reason being that I think this is a fund, so it's a partnership. Advanced Newhouse offloaded 100 million shares in a block sale at $10.97, aiming to fund estate planning and other investments. Who the hell owns Advanced Newhouse? I've heard of this thing. No, not Advanced New Year, Advanced Newhouse. That is basically Donald Newhouse. He's worth about 14.8 billion. Okay. His properties include Condé Nast, stake in Charter Communications, and a stake in Warner Brothers. He's 96. Wow. Fabulous. So he owns a lot of shit. He's worth about 14.8 billion. He is the president of Advanced Publications. Okay. Cool. So his estimated net worth as of June 2024 is 11 billion. So he sold about 100 million shares. So that's what technically took the stock down. It's down about 5% because he has his estate planning to do. And because of that, many people's little estates have now got screwed. Anyways. Let's see. Imagine if this thing blows up into something worse and then you get the Trump Elon shit just. I don't know. Maybe it just gets worse. Who knows? Things can get a lot worse than we can imagine. Quite possible. This was just funny when he said that who wants an electric car? All that they do is explode. Anyways. So markets are currently going to be eyeing the Sintra summit, which is basically the summit in Portugal where 4 of the biggest central banks come out and speak. The governors come out and speak. You're going to get Powell, you're going to get Lagarde, you're going to get Andrew Bailey, you're getting the BOJ Governor Ueda as well talking. So let's see what happens. But nothing is more important today than the Musk feud with Trump. So that's it. Let me go over and see. Oil is up about 1%, which is nothing in the grand scheme of things. Gold is up about 1.5%, almost 1.5%. So that's fascinating. When you're seeing gold go up again, it's actually been heading lower from the 3,500 to 3,350. But let's see how this plays out. Maybe gold's up about $45, so 3,348 on gold at the moment. Okay, let's see how this goes. Let me put this in. I forgot to put this in. Yeah, there you go. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. The dollar index has been falling, so we are going to start seeing the market actually begin to get some amount of earning strength that's going to be coming in because of the dollar weakening. Are we going to be seeing that turn into stocks heading higher? Let's see. It all depends on if there is some form of earnings improvement. Remember, again, in about 8 minutes from now, you are going to be getting Federal Reserve Chair coming and speaking at Sintra, the Portugal Central, the Portugal Sintra is a place in Portugal where these guys are meeting to talk. So let's see how that happens. Right, let me just get rid of this. This thing just keeps coming here. You guys know what to do. I'm not going to let you know. Just go subscribe and all that crap. You guys can do it on your own. Okay, let me see. As soon as we get some form of news from any of these places for what Powell has been saying, I'm going to share that with you guys because that's going to be more important than even the Trump and Elon stuff. He's going to be talking about the economy. Again, I don't think he's going to be saying anything great. He's still not going to cut. He's going to wait to see the data because tariff. He just spoke on, what was it? I think it was on the 18th. Yeah. 18th, 19th was the FOMC meeting when he came out and spoke. So now he's going to come out and speak again at the end of this month because they have another FOMC at the end of this month. What's he going to say right now that's going to change things? Absolutely nothing. So don't lose your sleep over it. We should be live for that as well. We'll be doing the live with, most likely I'll be live streaming the Powell FOMC as well. So make sure you guys join in for that. Oh wait, that's a month from now. So we're going to have maybe 30 more or 40 more lives in between that and now. Okay, let me go see some of these things. What else is going on in this world? So Elon Musk basically overseeing Tesla's Europe and US basically makes me realize that that should make Tesla go higher, but it's just got the issues of its own for now. Purely because of the fact that it's screwing around with the most powerful man in the world at this moment. Let's see. Never a good sign when that happens. Anyways, market should be opening in about 5-6 minutes from now. So we're going to get some amount of movement and we're going to be getting the FOMC. Are we getting that live here? Let me actually go and see if we can see it live. Yeah, it should be coming live any moment, but let's see. I mean, I do this on the phone, so I don't like going and showing everything that's currently going on and all of the other stuff that's happening. Right? I'd rather just let you know what's important rather than stream the whole goddamn thing. Unless it's an FOMC event. If it's an FOMC event, I understand everything's important. This one's a meetup that they're gonna have. So let's see. When do we have the? I'm trying to see if I can get the numbers for the unemployment rate and the non-farm payroll that's going to be coming out later this week. Remember, we have Friday off. We have Thursday. We shut at about 1 p.m. because we're half-day trading. We close early for the 4th of July weekend. Oh, Snapchat's up about 2.53%. I'm pretty sure they got upgraded. That's the only reason I would ever imagine Snapchat being up. Yeah, they got upgraded. Okay. Let's see what else. 5.86% down on Tesla. Maybe if it starts heading below 6%, it's going to start getting worse. Affirm's down about 1.24, Lemonade's down about 0.71, Reddit's up about 1%, Trade Desk down about, no, Trade Desk is up about 2.38, Nike's up about 0.86%. Remember, Nike on Friday was up about 15%. It then came down yesterday about 1.39 and it's up about 0.86. So if we can take out the 73, 74 levels, I don't know, maybe $90 this year, quite possible. All right, I've been bullish on Nike. I actually think it's going to do well. Yeah, what are we looking at? The economic calendar. Yeah, we get jolts coming out. We get a lot of stupid stuff coming out. 2 minutes, we're going to be getting BOE Governor Bailey speaking, Federal Reserve Chair speaking, BOJ Governor, ECB's Lagarde. Anyways, 9:45, we get the manufacturing PMI. And at 10 o'clock, we get construction spending, ISM manufacturing employment, and US's ISM manufacturing PMI numbers. So those are important numbers. We get job openings as well. Okay, let me just get the more important one, which is on Thursday before. Yeah, I want it for the week, not for today. Yeah. Yeah, so we're expecting the. Really? Yeah, Thursday. Exactly. Jobless claims coming in at 239K, so we're expecting that to move from 236 previously to 239. We're expecting non-farm payroll to drop from 139 to 120K, so that's going to be falling as well. That's not a good sign. And we're expecting that unemployment rate moves from 4.2 to 4.3. So we're expecting things wherein it's going to fall by 0.1% on increase. Unemployment rate is going to be increasing by 0.1% from 4.2 to 4.3. We're also expecting non-farm payroll to drop 19,000 jobs. So if we get worse data than what we're expecting, markets are going to take a shit. All right. Anyways, we're about 2 minutes away from market opening. This is what we do. We go live when the market opens. Let's see. We're down about 60 points on the Nasdaq. Are we off the lows, or are we? The lows were 545. We're at 589. So not really that much away from what we would have expected. Anyways, we should be getting the Fed Chair coming and delivering remarks in exactly 45 seconds. So I'm going to share whatever remarks I get. Anyways, so that is something that I don't want to see. I don't want to see non-farm payrolls drop and the unemployment rate pick up. Do I expect the unemployment rate to pick up? Yes. But it's also going to stay steady, because remember, we're going to getting so much of immigration that has stopped overnight. So you're not going to be getting so many people just joining the labor force or leaving the labor force. It's just going to stay steady according to me. Okay, we're opening now. We've opened about 67 points down. The Dow is down about 79 points. The Russell is down about 0.61%, so that's down about 13.2%. That's actually a pretty bad open for the Russell. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting the Russell to be down 0.62%. That's actually a lot. Anyways, the US 100, the Nasdaq's down about 50 points. That's pretty much as where we opened. The S&P is down about 18 points. We've broken the 6200 number and we're heading lower, 6187. Talk of town today is Tesla. So I'm just going to check that and then head back into 6.65% lower. Let me see if I can actually put this in for you guys. That's actually a bad one. So stocks currently slip to kick off the second half of 2025. That's not a good sign. That's actually pretty bad if that actually happens. I'm going to be seeing that come through. Let me see if I get any of these. Rocket company has officially acquired Redfin. Okay, we go check Rocket as well. But till then, 7% down on Tesla. 7.23% down on Tesla. 294. It's getting its ass whooped. I mean, he was recovering really nicely, and now it's just all gone to the dogs all over again. So I don't know. We're just waiting on but Powell to come in and speak. Let's see how that goes. And we're also going to be getting I think the JOLTS data that comes out today. If that comes through, I'll give you some updates on that as well. Let me just go in and put this number in for you guys. So for anyone that's new here, you can actually just look at the chat and you'll be able to see what's happening with Tesla at the moment. It is down at that price. down about 7.3%, 7.2%. So it's been falling. It's actually weighing on the Nasdaq, and that's the reason the Nasdaq's lower, right? So it's not a good sign. Anyways, let's go see. Trump slams Elon Musk as his mega bill drops AI. Tesla CEO has assumed oversight of sales in Europe, leaving Tom Zhu over Asia. Okay, that's not what we're interested in. Okay, let's just wait and see what Powell's going to be coming to say, because that one's going to be fun. All indexes have opened in the red: the S&P, the Nasdaq, the Dow Jones, and the Russell 2000, with the Russell 2000 down about 0.65% and not recovering. Not a good sign. Anyways, let's look at some of the stocks. Nike's up about 2%. It is beginning to head higher. 72.40 on Nike. If Nike is able to take out the 74.40 level, I think we should be heading towards the 76 pretty soon. Okay, trade desk up about 1.67. Reddit, we were talking about that, up 1% in pre-market, now down 1% post-market opening. Affirm opened in the green. Lemonade up about 3.21. Lemonade decided to do some reinsurance stuff, which they earlier used to do. So what they would do is, with reinsurance, is this is something that they used to do. If they got in $100 in insurance money, right, for insuring your house, your pet, your car, whatever it be, they would take that and sell 55% of it as risk off to, let's say, an AIG or a reinsurance company or a Swiss Re, right, which is another reinsurance company. So what would happen is, if your house, something happened, or something happened to your car, or something happened to your dog, or whatever something happened to, and you were supposed to be paid $100,000 for $1,000 per month premium, right? They would eventually collect it over the years, but maybe if that happens within a year, they got to make that payment back. So how do they fulfill the claim of 100,000? If they start after fulfilling claims at one shot, they would go bankrupt. So what they do is they sell some to the reinsurance, and then they take on the risk of 45% and 55%. Now, obviously, because of this, 55% of the premium also goes away to AIG and Swiss Re or any of the other reinsurance companies, while 45% of it remains with Lemonade. Now, over time, as these AI models have gotten smarter and Lemonade's models have gotten smarter and their loss ratios are lower, they're like, why are we giving away 55%, right, of the profit? Yes, we're also giving away 55% of the risk, which is good, but at some stage it's not going to be worth it. So what did they do? Is they flipped it. They said, you know what, we're bringing the 55% down to 20%. So when they brought it down to 20%, now what they're doing is, yes, they're going to be taking on more risk, because they're sending a lot more of this, a lot less of these insurance premiums to other people, to the reinsurance guys. So when they take $100 in premium or $1,000 in premium per month, earlier when they gave 5,500 away, now they're only going to be giving 20 away. Because they're giving only 20 away, they get to keep 80 of the profit with them, which means their profitability increases. So in a situation where Lemonade is able to write loans, write insurance basically, at levels where it can maintain its gross loss ratio, it can now basically double up its profit, which earlier they were giving away 55%, now they're giving away 20%. So they get to keep more as profit, and they also get to keep a lot more of the risk. In case the risk does not materialize, that's more profit that they make, right? So that's the game that they're playing, which is why the stock is up about 5% at this moment, right? If we're able to break 47 and close there for the week, I think we could be on our way to 61, 62 as well, and that seems quite likely if that actually does happen. So 5% up there. Trade Desk is up about 3%. Nike's up about 1.73. Chime's a new IPO, that's up only about, it's down by 2%. So that's actually shat on itself. It had actually gone all the way to 36 yesterday. Today it's trading at about 33.80. So not doing too well. Anyways, let me get some of this news if we're getting anything from Powell in his speech. Tesla is down about 7.1 last I saw. I put it into the chat and it was down about 7.3. It is down 7.3 still. Maybe it heads lower to 284, maybe $10 more, so maybe another 3-4%, maybe lower than 10%. That is the reason why the Nasdaq is still being weighed lower, 51 points. If not for that, you would be actually way higher. Let me go see Apple. That was something that I was actually doing. a percent higher, 207. So that's good. Okay, lemonade's been picking up again, 7.5, 7.17%. So that's good. Cool. Who doesn't want to make money? Okay, let's see. Do we have some news on Powell? Are they really late by like 7 minutes? You don't usually see that happen. Anyways, for a lot of people, they're not able to understand insurance properly, so they keep thinking that it's a tough market. It's not. People are not going to be able to understand it pretty well, but it's not really that much of an issue. You just got to have somebody to explain it to you easily, so you understand it in a layman's term. And if you do, then it's not that tough, right? Okay. I think we got Christine Lagarde speaking at the moment, so Powell still got his time to speak. Okay, I'm going to try seeing if I can get to some of the investing data that I'm going to be getting in about 7 minutes. So I'm just going to give you a brief on what we're expecting. We are going to be getting in 6 minutes, we're going to be getting the US final manufacturing PMI at 9:45. At 10 p.m., we're going to be getting the JOLTS job openings and the ISM manufacturing PMI. So let's see how that goes as well. We're expecting manufacturing PMI to move up from 48.5 to 48.8. We're expecting job openings to go lower from 7.39 to 7.32 million job openings. Let's see. Let's see what materializes, what doesn't. I mean, in all honesty, to actually look at what's going to be happening with Nike would be the most interesting part at this moment for me this year. It still trades at an RSI of like 42, down in those lows, not even broken 15, not even heading towards the 70. It's like really far away. I think only when it goes to like 100, 110 would it even get close to an overbought level on the RSI. But it's got a lot of room to go up. Nowhere even close to even. It's not even making a dent at this moment, even though it is up about 50% from 53, right? Or about, it used to trade about 50, now it trades at about 72. So let's see if it can take out its previous high at 74, which was the last week high. During the earnings day, we had that move. Also, it has, I think, the 200-day moving average on the daily. That's where it's taking resistance. Today, it might be taking support there and breaking out. So let's see what happens. It'll actually be pretty interesting to see this play out. Again, another thing that we need to see is how Lemonade is going to be performing. Up about 5%, was up about 7.5. If we're able to take out the 47.50 levels, we could head a lot more higher. Anyways, 4 minutes for the manufacturing PMI. 10 p.m. the ISM manufacturing PMI is going to be a little bit more important, but until we get some news from all of these guys, let's see. Okay, Fed's Powell says we're taking time for as long as US economy. Solid, prudent thing is to wait. Jerome Powell just said United States economy is in a pretty good position. He expects higher readings over summer. So he still thinks that you're going to see some form of inflation that comes through. Fed's Powell says if we ignore tariffs, inflation behaving as expected and hoped. So what he's saying is that I'm just going to wait and see. I don't care what Trump says, doesn't matter to me. He says US economy is in a pretty good position. I think the markets are going to take that as a positive and move ahead, because they also do know that at some situation rate cuts are going to be coming into the picture. Because if you're not going to be able to see inflation and you're not seeing the job market crumble, or even if you see the job market slowing, you will eventually see him cutting rates. That is something that's going to be happening. It's not unfathomable to see that. It is, if we're able to keep inflation in check, we are going to see lower interest rates. Okay, 22,600 on the Nasdaq. Chime is down about 4.5%, so that's actually gone way lower than what I imagined. Nike and Starbucks up about 1% each. Disney is down about 0.59. Disney got upgraded yesterday, so that's when it picked up. Another stock that I was looking at was an energy drink maker called Celsius. It's at 47. Okay, we're seeing lemonade also fall from its high, up about 7%, now down to about just 4% higher. So 45.58 at the moment. Firms lower as well. So some form of selling in the opening 15 minutes of trade. 61 down. Let's go see what's happening with Tesla. Let's see what else is going on here. Okay. So Powell just says that economy is in a pretty good position and they're taking time for as long as the US economy is currently in a pretty good position. It's the solid prudent thing is to wait. So, but how long are you going to wait? Like, are you going to be waiting 1 quarter, 2 quarters, or just a month? That's the question. Because the VIX is not really spiking. It's still at 17.09. So it's not really spiked and gone up too much. It's just up 2%. So it's not too much. Lemonade has sold off pretty badly from a 4% top to now just 3.63%. It could very well be a situation where it's just trying to get some more, build some momentum before it builds strength to head higher back again. But let's see. I don't do any intraday trades. I just look at the market when it opens to see what happens. I don't do weekly, monthly, none of those trades. No earnings reaction, none of that crap. A little bit more long term. I don't mind doing a yearly trade, but nothing less than that. 6 months, 9 months, not my cup of tea. Anyways, a minute out for final manufacturing PMI. Let's get that number so we can then move on from that. Are you guys able to hear me clearly? Or are you getting some form of a connection issue? Mm, let me see. Okay, can you hear me now? Is this better? Oh my god. Hmm. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Okay, let's see what the data came out. Still not out, about 10 seconds delayed. 52 is what we're expecting for the final manufacturing PMI. 52.9 on the manufacturing PMI, so sounds better right now. We're up about zero point 0.9 now. So let's see what's happening with the market then. 67 down for the US 100. The Nasdaq's down 0.29, Russell's down 0.46, S&P is down about 0.23, 6190. What is important is to see the S&P 500 actually hold 6200 and head higher. That is more important. So yeah, let's see. Anyways, there is some news of another Boeing aircraft, Delhi Vienna Air India flight plunged 900 feet post takeoff, triggering stall and don't sink warnings these days after the Ahmedabad crash. Pilots successfully stabilized the aircraft and landed safely. Both pilots, whatever, been grounded, but apparently it abruptly lost about 900 feet of altitude. That's a lot. I think you guys should be able to hear me clearly right now. Yep, perfect. We got wage freedom in the house. Okay, Let me get back to this and not waste my time on other people. 5% up on Lemonade. Reddit's up about 0.5. Nike's up about 3. Let me just go and see what Tesla's up to. It's just been so much nonsense that's going on with Tesla. Okay, 6.27. Still down about 6.5%. It was down only 5.85 when we were pretty much heading lower. So 6%, 6.2. That's the one that's holding the Nasdaq lower. Okay, we have about 12, 13 minutes to go about for the job openings and ISM manufacturing PMI. That's the important one. We also get manufacturing prices and construction spending. We're expecting construction spending to be, it was negative 0.4 earlier. We're now expecting it to be negative 0.2. And manufacturing prices 69.4 is going to head to 69.6. So let's see what happens there. Anyways, is that all that we heard from Trump for today? And Powell? Okay. There's some news from Powell. He says solid majority of FOMC participants deem appropriate to cut rates again later this year. We expect to see higher inflation readings over summer. I don't know what solid majority means. It means a lot of people expect for rate cuts. Anyways, so one thing that I do know, I want everyone to actually think about this is the FOMC has a lot of precedents that sit together and they rotate in terms of who votes. Currently, two of the people that are there on that table are Republicans. One, Christopher Waller, and he's been calling for rate cuts. I would actually not imagine if he actually became the next Fed chair, and that would be a very good decision because he is open to change. If inflation picks up, he will hike rates. If inflation goes lower, he will cut rates. He's been a proponent in 2022 as well of not hiking, of beginning to cut after hiking so much, and that would have made the economy a lot better, and we wouldn't have seen a 2022 bear market as bad as it was. Secondly, he's also been saying that we should begin cutting in the July meeting and henceforth. So he is going to be on Trump's good books, right? To some extent, I'm actually thinking that these guys coming out with their FOMC right now is more like an interview for Trump to basically let them know that, hey, can I become the next Fed chair? That's what it is. The second one is a Republican called Michelle Bowman. She's also a Fed governor. She's also been made the vice chair of the Fed supervisory board, from what I remember. And if you honestly think about that, that to an extent is the reason why she has also been advocating for a July rate cut. So currently that's the story that's going on. A lot of people want to cut rates. I mean, even Powell's been saying that, you know what, he is looking forward to cutting rates. It's not that he's not doesn't want to cut rates. He's clearly saying that if we don't have tariffs inflation that comes in, he would have cut rates by now. It's also saying that possibly we will see some amount of inflation that comes in from these tariffs. If that does come in, we are going to get hit by it, and then it'll be very foolish to start a cutting trajectory and then now move into a rate hiking trajectory. A lot of people keep saying that, okay, Powell should cut, Powell should cut. I'll tell you one thing: if he does cut, that's okay. Fair enough. 25 basis points will not make a difference. It's the trajectory of cuts, which means you're going to be expecting 25, 25, 25, 25 continuously. And now, if you start having a Fed president as well as the Fed chair deciding that, hey, you know what, next month's inflation, it's pretty hot, which means it's gone up higher, time to increase the interest rates. The month after that, it's gone lower, okay, I'm going to cut now. You can't have that going on. They need to telegraph themselves. Remember, they are, at the end of the day, the US Federal Reserve. A lot of currencies globally, a lot of countries globally look to what the Fed does and then follows what they're doing. Under that scenario, if you start having these kind of movements where 2 months you're hiking, 3 months later you're cutting, that's not how it works. So, anyways, I mean, I don't know what people are smoking in this world when they keep saying that, okay, let's get more cuts and they should be down to like 2% and all of that. No. Fed's Powell says, I can't say if July is too soon to cut rates. I wouldn't take any meeting off the table. It depends on the data. So, he's still saying he's data dependent. I think the market should rally on that news. Let's go see what's happening. Yeah, we're down just 28 points now on the market. That's because Powell basically is also coming out and saying that, hey, you know what? He doesn't want to say that July is too soon. He's saying maybe it's not too soon. Maybe I will cut rates. He's like, I wouldn't take any meeting off table. It depends on the data. So that's good. That's good to know. it's good to know that at least he's on that side where he's saying that, okay, you know what, I am open to cutting. That actually means that the market's going to start discounting. And very soon, right? Remember this, on the next live that we go, you guys can come in and ask. And I'm telling you today, people are going to start saying 3 to 4 cuts for this year and not just 2 cuts. It is going to happen. Give it a matter of time. It is going to happen. Anyways, that's just me predicting shit that sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't. But most of the times it does. I'm actually of the belief that we're going to be cutting more than 3 times for this year. Let's go see what's happening with the poll. Ooh, most people now do agree with me, which is the flare up gets worse. 50% of people expect the flare up to get worse between Trump versus Elon. 30% expect that it just dies down and it's just noise. 10% expect it as strategic and both win attention. Let's see. And fourth is markets don't care. Okay. And I know the bulls out here believe that it's going to be dying down. I hope it dies down too, but some amount of fun is okay. He also says we expect to see higher inflation readings during the summer. Okay. Senator Ron Johnson says he'll support the tax bill, which basically means now that the tax bill will go through. It just had one of them that was not helping. So, done. Tax bill is through. Powell's expecting that he's going to be cutting in July. He just said it. He didn't want to say it up front. He just said everything's on the table. We're modestly restrictive at this level, is what Powell comes out and says. He says US short term interest rate futures rise after Fed Chair Powell says he can't say if July is too soon for a rate cut. Let's go actually see what's happening with the 10 year and the 2 year. 10 year is now 4.23 and the 2 year is at, it's flat right now, so it's not moved that much. Let's actually see if there's been a move in the dollar index. The dollar has sold off 96.61. He also says that we're restrictive at this level, so I'm expecting him to believe that it's going to be tough to not cut in July, which means people are going to look at it as if he gave in to Trump. But you know what? Trump wants 200 basis points. This guy's going to give him 25. So he's cutting by 25 basis points, which is 0.25%. Trump wants to cut it down all the way 200 basis points or 2%. So I don't know how that's going to work, but we get what we get. Okay, 3% up on Nike. Disney's flat 0.4. Celsius is up about 2.52. Chime has been heading lower about 3.94. Okay, 3% up on Trade Desk. 5.4 up on Lemonade. We're about 5 minutes out from data, so let's just get that data and then we all can be out of here. Firm is up about 0.2%, Reddit's up about 1.35. Remember, if the Fed starts talking about cutting rates, you are going to see momentum stocks and small cap stocks picking up. It is part of the way things work. It's how the game is played. So don't wonder as to why you're seeing some of these small caps actually doing well. The small cap index was down 0.6%. It is now down 0.24. So this is all because of Powell coming out and saying that. So what this also means is that what you're actually going to see now is the fact that the non-farm payroll data that comes out now, the unemployment data that comes out now on Thursday is going to be very, very, very important because in all essence, if that data is able to show that we're improving, the economy is improving, that just means that the July rate cut is going to happen, right? He's saying that we're data dependent, and the only data that's actually going to matter now is inflation, see, non-farm payroll, and the unemployment rate that's coming up. So maybe all that we needed was a handwritten note. So never underestimate the power of a handwritten note. That's the note that President Trump wrote and sent across to Jerome Powell today. So maybe that's all it needed. Maybe he didn't have to tweet. Maybe he just had to send a handwritten note. And Powell's already flipped. That's all that was needed. All right. Hmm. This is actually big news. Let me actually go in and put this into the chat so you guys are able to see this as well. But yeah, maybe next time don't tweet. Don't put out social posts. Just send letters. We just need handwritten notes, man. We can solve all these trade issues. Just send pigeons and handwritten notes and we're good. Anyways, US 100, NASDAQ down 46. Everything else is the way it is. Nothing too fancy. Yeah, my Sean says he wanted less than 1%. Dude, he can want what he wants. The fact is that America has a Federal Reserve chair that is in place and independent. So if we had everything going at the whims and fancies of one single man, and I'm not either supportive of Trump or not supportive of Trump, any of that, but I'm just saying if everything was decided by just one man, what's the democracy then? Is all that I'm saying. Okay, trying to see if we can get some more data on this stuff. But anyways, the fact that he says that July is not too soon, he can't say because he's like, oh, we'll just wait for the data, and if the data comes out well, we're cutting. So you have a meeting in July. There's going to be a cutting. Maybe Jackson Hole also will be dovish. Usually Jackson Hole does come out and be bearish, but this time it could possibly be dovish as well. Okay, we got a minute left for data to come out. Let's get that data. Okay, so at the before the data comes out, we're down about 53 points. All indexes are in the red. We have no green on the screen. So that's that. About 30 seconds away. So let's see. ISM manufacturing 48.5 previously. We're expecting 48.8. Joel's job openings was 7.39. We're expecting that to head lower at 7.32. I'm expecting the PMI to start picking up rather than going lower. I would say 49.50 and higher is what we would need, what we would want. Hopefully we get it. Let's see. 10 seconds to go. We got construction spending coming out as well in a few seconds, but if that actually turns positive, that's actually a good thing because the housing market is completely dead. There is no going back on housing. It's just completely gone. Anyways, all four data points are now pending. It's coming out. We got 49 on ISM, so like I expected. Construction spending's gotten worse, negative 0.3, so that's not improving. Let me see job openings that comes out. 7.32 expected. Mm, not yet out. ISM manufacturing prices was expected at 69.6, came in at 69.7. So overall, the data is better. It is not monumentally better, but it's not worse. And at this moment, if we have just expected data coming out, it's good news. It's not bad news. Let's wait for the job openings that comes out. 7.32 million is what we're expecting. Should be out any moment now. We're out about 47 seconds late. Still don't have the number yet. 7.77. So that is a lot of job opening. The last time we saw that number was about 7.74. We saw that was on March 11th. So we have seen a spike in the job openings. That's not a good sign, actually. We would expect it to be at 7.3 million. We're seeing a lot of job openings actually creep up, which is never a good sign, but it's not that monumentally important. But remember, the only reason I look at all of this data is because sometimes some of these data points together, when they come together, a lot of bad news together can start telling you something that there is a market that is weakening. So that is something that you guys should go in and actually also keep looking at, right? As markets go higher, don't look at what are the reasons for it to go higher. Look at what are the reasons that can come up that can make markets go lower. Anyways, so we're gonna close the poll, and I think everybody still expects the flare up to get worse or to just die down. Let's see what happens actually. In another 12 hours, we will get to know, right? Anyway, so appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks to Wage Freedom, Sean, We got Dikshant in the house today. We got Wahab. We got Iqbal. We got a few Muhammads here too. But yeah, anyways, thanks for everyone tuning in. This was fun. Hopefully, things settle down in the White House and in Musk's house. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you guys in post market. Hopefully, things get more crazy. Then we will talk about something else. Anyways, enjoy yourselves and have a good night for everyone that is in my side of the world. Take care. Enjoy.